happened today?
Tell me more. You seem a little excited. I'm like, I'm hearing the trepidation. What happened?
I had to do some cable work today.
Oh,
And where it was at, I can't complain.
really?
I had to do it at the Twin Peaks.
Oh, wow. Flannel and all.
Flannel and all. The
Boots with the fur.
there was some boots with fur.
Daisy Dukes.
But
It's just so American Pie, you know?
oh yeah. Yeah. No, it was actually
God bless America.
the way they did it. That was kind of weird. It was kind of weird, but to each is their own. But it was a lot of corrosion was the problem, and I wasn't expecting that.
It was such a dank environment.
Actually, surprisingly, that was probably one of the cleaner places I've had to run cable.
What about WAP?
What about WAP?
All the WAP. Everywhere.
I don't know.
Will they just clean up after themselves as they go?
I don't know. I figured it would be professional or polite to ask.
Well, I wasn't there to goad you.
You're talking about a wireless access point, right?
I mean, what else would you think?
Well, so.
Yeah, like after you drill some drywall, put another wire, set it all up. Yeah, like you don't need a bucket and a mop.
Well, this one time we didn't have to drill no wall. It was just a little pipe, probably about 60 feet. We had to run it down and cut, reconnect. Quick and easy. Kind of. We had to find out some of their adapters and stuff like that would bust it up and junky, but hey.
It's on them.
That's on them. That wasn't me.
They didn't consult you on that.
We were leaving, everybody was happy, everything was working. So.
Well, while you were cutting up that pipe, did you show them how you got that ring? Or did you not cut any little rings, little PVC pieces of conduit like I like to do?
No, cut anything. A pair of snips is all I did. A pair of snips.
I mean, it's heavenly having so little to have to do. And, you know, did you at least spend some time doing stands? Like JoJo stands? JoJo, Bizarre Adventure Guide?
Oh.
Where they make the powerful poses that do the energy things?
No.
Well, I mean,
I failed.
you're like, da-da-dum-dum, snip.
Well, there's a couple of spots where like, hey, and it's gonna work. And we did this. We tried to do not really a power pose, but a transfer of energy pose. Like, yeah.
Okay.
And
all right. Little spirit bombing.
No spirit fingers, but like spirit bombing, and it didn't work.
Well, you know, practice makes perfect.
And then we're like, maybe it's this little adapter. We changed their adapter, and we're like, yes, no. And then we're like, hold on. The only thing we haven't changed is this other adapter, but you said you don't have one. Let's steal it from another station. We stole it from another station, plugged it in, and it worked.
Hey-o.
So their little broken adapter didn't work. So I count that as a win, right? Sure.
You know, very, very limited troubleshooting. You didn't have to sweat too terribly. No awkward standing positions while you plug a thing in.
Well, there was.
Well, it's a stand.
Well, it was like.
That's a stand, bro.
And I'm like squatting down trying to do it.
It's a squat, it's a stand. You had powerful energy transferring through you into your work. The will of William. I am.
I am William. I am Will.
I am Will. You are. All that.
How about you?
All sorts of things. A cliff that's so rad you don't ever jump off it. Jumps off at you.
Oh shit. So I'm guessing it was an okay day, not a great day.
It was just one of those, you know, the days when we're we're driving out to drop this all off, and it's like, there you go. We didn't get to do as much of that today. It was more like one earlier, and it was just growth, monotonous. And then by the time I got back to the office, before we clock out and go to head to the second position, it was all the humdrums of the research, the filing, everything that's left over after all of our results have been typed up, parsing from original notes, documenting certain specificities and sets of cases, paper clipping, color coding, manila foldering, all the beautiful things that do with clerical work, get rid of it, get it done. And we're still in-house on putting it away as well. The filing. What was it? Ito Satoshi? No, the wave guy who did portraits of waves in Japan. Like 25, 35, 60, 77. And then we have the Fuji wave painting. That guy. That's what the files look like as soon as you open the door.
So I'm going to let you know what I imagine when you just described it.
Yes.
Did you ever read the series of Return to Prince?
Read? No. Watch? No. Kind of, but no.
Okay, well, there's this one part where I forget what the hospital's called, but the big thing about the hospital is the filing. And it's also got files of everything.
Everything.
It doesn't matter what it is, it's got a file of it. And that was the big thing there. Was like, oh, is there a file for that? Yes. And there would just be a big single standalone file, and it would just go on for acres. Sputtering around.
Everything in Philo.
Yeah, like you weren't allowed to read it. They weren't allowed to read it. They just had to read like the first couple words of what it was about, and then they had to go file it. You couldn't read it and be like, oh, this is about a house burning down. Let's put over here. It would just be like, sky is blue. We're gonna put this in the sky.
Sky. Nice. They're color coded. Got a little powder baby blue.
I think you're thinking you're about to do it.
Well, some offices don't entirely do silos the way we do it. However, everything is in triplicate. You have the copy of the original manuscript with notes taken during the scientific fix, side by side with the notes taken by the stenographer who's there witnessing and reporting all wordage, which basically then all get sat down, agreed upon, and transcribed in such a way that they flow into a single document. That's the third document. Okay. And now by the time we get there, we have office supply companies that deliver specialty items. I kid you not. This is baby blue for sky. This is sand rock red for diuretic emergencies. And this is just in the side effect calendars. It's crazy.
That's a side effect calendar?
Yes, because we know on the calendar dates from day 1 to day 28, when you take the pill that we derive from shall be nameless, redacted, classified, and 28 days later, the specific side effect is intended, occurs.
And it's
Explosive diarrhea. Explosive. Something else you need a bucket and a mop for.
not buckets and mops thing.
Hey man, it's an umbrella corporation. Their product is life. Life gets messy.
Yeah, it does. It does. I cannot disagree.
Life gets messy. The only place we're good with messy. You always want an overabundance.
Can you have too many singles?
Yes and no. It's a very contextual question.
Okay.
Submitted for one's disapproval. was picked up after the case had occurred and was shut down. So by X amount of hours of the side effect occurring, and then the resultant process that goes beyond it, which is what we're hoping to base our hypotheticals and our hypothesis. We really just want to see this happen and what the effects are after so much ingestion of any living thing within reach. How many hours does it take for it to start cellular change based on the mutations gathered from HGH, human growth hormone? So it spasms out in our creation table. The messier the sample there is, means the side effect occurred and caused the want much earlier than anticipated because of the excess. Now, if the case was extra context on this hyperbolic situation that has never occurred, ever. Think of a Fargo situation, an up north, lots of snow type deal. This was found in a black rock road amidst banks of fallen snow. Let's give it 8 to 12 inches. And it was so dry, we couldn't tell the degradation of the cells was too advanced. We couldn't tell what lot it came from. We couldn't tell how long it had been ingesting and how long it had not been able to, that it was so emaciated. There's so many factors. In this case, no, yes again. Sloppy's good. There's not enough slop. This was a bad sloppy samples. Zesty, but crap Italian dressing. How could they?
Like I'm in front of the guy that's like, hey, I want this, and hey, my boss wants this, and zesty sauce. And zesty. I call it tangy sauce because I didn't know the name. And
So you get the bear down.
I didn't want to name. I think he put it first place. But anyway, so I told him, I was like, the tangy sauce. Or the tangy sauce. And he goes, you mean the zesty sauce?
Yes.
Because he knows what I'm trying to say. And I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just regurgitating it. It's like, you want the tangy sauce? That's zesty sauce. Whatever. I'm getting confused now.
The sauce is boss.
He's like, you
Have
want
it your way.
Yes. He's like, you want this sauce? And I said, yes. And he goes, okay. So I took that okay as him acknowledging, him understanding, and him knowing I want the sauce.
Zesty.
Zesty sauce.
Zesty, tasty, tangy
Sauce.
robot sauce.
And he goes, yes.
Neglected the sauce.
I did not get the sauce.
You see so many things coming and you feel like I have no time to dodge this, but then you realize there's no getting away from it. You couldn't have been more clear.
So, yeah. No, I was, and I grabbed the bag because me and him were like, hey, the sauce.
I see you, the sauce guy. Yeah, you're the sauce guy. You're both the sauce guy to each other.
He says, I got the sauce, and you want some ketchup? Yeah, I'll take some ketchup. I like ketchup with my fries. So I heard him say, the sauce, and do you want ketchup? So I assumed he put the sauce in that. I left without checking the bag because I saw all the main stuff, and I heard him say, the sauce. Yeah, and the family.
No, man, please don't ever put that on Burger King. That's not necessarily a threat actor within the company per se, but potentially one sort of neutral gray hat information peddler. He's not there for the job. He's there to look like he's at the job, but it's another part of the job that's done by the company that owns the company that owns that company that owns that company, etc. Ad infinitum, ad nauseam. I hate that for you.
I mean, it didn't ruin my lunch, but like I said, it wasn't for me.
It made you look poor not showing up that you had thought so little of it. And you're not that William. You're a William. You're not a Will.
was like, "Where's my sauce?" I was like, "It's in there." He acknowledged me, and he's like, "The sauce is here."
He sauce psyched you.
He sauce psyched.
He sauce psyched you. He Szechuan sauced you. He told you it was there and it's discontinued.
Yeah.
Why freaking
You should have tried that sauce fries.
worthy?
Sauce?
That's all I can say.
Feel it come out again.
Worthy. That's all I can say.
I like that.
No. Szechuan probably said the game doesn't know. It's overrated for Szechuan.
Yeah, other than that, that's about it. I mean, it was also just nothing exciting that came out of it. Like, you were laying back and chill.
Well, me, I gotta tell you, I've been getting back on my matcha experimental game. Oh man, the samples I first pulled out of this last batch, I just buy this, superfood matcha from the leaves.
Yeah.
And man, I made a tablespoon with 3 tablespoons of raw honey and suffice it to say 6 to 12, 30 ounces of water. This murky, green, beautiful liquid with the perfect amount of sweetness without it being like giving me a toothache. Hey, 4 cups of that. Okay? Like, I've never been so pleased with the results. In fact, I sucked them down with one of my little, he calls me Senpai Sensei some shit. I don't know what to say. Some kid. He's a good kid. Maybe he's an intern, maybe he's a spy. Who knows? Anyway, let's just for argument's sake call him Soe. He enjoys it. He gives me some notes because he had done some UC work with some baristas who were selling him new codes. Ipso facto, he learns the game. And he imparted to me in detail that my accidental mixture of a drop of shilajit noodles and half a portion of coconut water cuts the superfood taste of the matcha, complements the honey, not making it sweeter, but dulling its bite, and making an excellent warm cup of the weirdest-free matcha tea. It doesn't taste off. It tastes perfect. Just better enough. Super nutrients. I digress. Anyway, yeah. Well, speaking of experiments, the last experiment I had with this after that was, are you familiar with Naruto and Sakura and all them? So Sakura is this pink-haired girl. Eventually, she goes to make something called soldier pills, which are basically like, you remember the Civil War, we had hardtack and all that crap? This is a ninja equivalent. It's just something that'll keep you alive for 3 days without having to eat. It's made basically medicinal herbs, pote, etc. And it's just this terrible tasting, earthy blend.
Okay.
And it's about the size of a meatball, a Swiss meatball.
Okay.
I have been trying to recreate this recipe that doesn't exist with peanut butter, matcha, honey. What the hell else was it? Cinnamon. Okay. Alright. A little more honey. And lastly, you gotta put the ginger in there. And with the peanut butter, mixing it thoroughly, man, it looks like the soldier pills, except for less meatball, meat grain looking herbal concoction, okay? And it's soft, and it's gooey, and it's just, you can do anything with it. So you keep putting more cinnamon in it because, cinnamon's an antibacterial. Anyway, it's so bitter, it's so refreshing, it's so lightly salty, oily from the peanut butter. Yeah. And the right amount of sweetness yet again. I went ahead and bought some apricots, dried apricots, right? And I stuffed them with these soldier pills. Now they just look like stuffed apricots, but they look like they have the meatball texture. less disgusting. So it's like the real soldier pills. But not to make fun of Sakura, it was her first attempt, and she was going straight by the book. I was going straight out.
Swing the fences as a lightsaber.
Gotta break these chain links. I've been listening to a lot of Black Keys. Good day, go. Speaking of Black Keys, you know what keeps popping up in my feeds besides 18 plus tits and weird stuff that has to do with gravity? On my Instagram feeds recently, I was picking up some histories, okay, as in retellings of historical events regarding the, and I quote, millennial boom. What? Do you know what the millennial boom is? What is it? Like, you remember, like, house and techno music back in the 90s, late 80s, and then, of course, later on, folk, indie, pop, metal, core, and rap would all do these very similar sounding things like, whoa, whoa, over and over and over again. We are young. That's the move. Oh, with these wide runs of these one or two notes. And like the emo crowd, whoa, 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 whoa. Shit, just weird stuff like that. The millennial boom. It's just weird, vowel-esque runs. Or in the case of gentlemen such as Kurt Cobain and Nirvana, grunge, post-alt metal, whatever you want to call folk, crotch rock. Yeah, crotch rock goes, it's like grunge is more appropriate than the opposite. Must be a tummy issue. Or are they taking the samples and they're experiencing 28 days later diuretic explosions?
Hopefully not the explosions.
Because you remember that one week when you were for bugs explosions? I don't know. Well, at least my cuticles don't feel like that radioactive burning this week, you know what I mean?
I still feel like the way it was going, you would have known not to mess with it.
Yeah, man. A raven sees a shiny stone and picks up a nickel.
But a eerily breathing, glowing liquid pick up with a label.
Have you ever seen the Toxic Avenger, sir?
I haven't. No, I have not watched it. But I actually.
That's the last time I would want to shoot a It's a particularly horrible wonder film.
I think they're going to make another one.
They have no choice. It's too late. Pay for your circus monkeys.
Have you watched the new Marvel movie?
Oh, are you talking about the Captain America thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. A couple times. Oh, I've tried to go buy it today. In between the paperwork disposal and the annual, how should I say, filing warehouse spring cleaning extravaganza.
That makes it sound like it's fun.
Well, the crafts you do with it to hide the evidence make it a blast, but the work to get up to that point is just hell. The festival they try to have every other, I want to say leap year, and they'll say stuff like, hey, homemade arts and crafts, festival this, free food, stuff like this.
Yeah.
A lot of the work we do ends up in those festivals.
You mean the people or the stuff?
I'm afraid red acting. Yeah.
There's some interesting people that are at those type of festivals.
Well, that's a quarter of the point for the bottom end of the company. Quarter end of the point is that's a lot. It's a big company. Sweet tea and Jesus.
Sweet tea and Jesus.
Yeah, all this time, we never really put it up to a vote. What religion's God would win a battle royale? Oh, I lost my last one. Can you see that? Oh.
Yeah, it's good. It's just a little bit lighter.
Yeah, it's not out yet. Don't get it. That's the consequences. Be bold, die free.
Actually, did you, I know you're kind of dabbling in it, but am I talking?
Close.
The same class. The, Supernatural did a thing about all the gods. They met up at some hotel, and I think the episode was called, Hotel 66 or Highway 66.
What was that? It was in the season between 8 and 14. I can't remember the exact one, but almost everybody's there to meet the guys.
Yeah, Mercury's there, I think Zeus is there.
Well, yeah, that whole weekend was there. Let's talk about that, yeah. I just get excited talking about it. It's a great show.
And they all, I know it's in this one, I know Lucifer is the strongest one, but I know like he just kills all of them.
Yeah, Lucy, baby.
Don't say that in a Sunday school.
Lucy Luz.
Well, I didn't say Lucy Luz, but it's like, oh, you're talking about Lucy? And they're like, call Lucifer Lucy? Like, it's a TV show, there's problems.
Yes. I mean, it's for the cam. The action is a plus. The format is the voters.
Did you know that unless what I'm reading is fake news, they're making another season.
Oh, wow. I believe it.
I don't know what they're going to make the next season about. I still need to watch the Bible season.
I still need to watch a lot of them because I've only seen a few of them once. Now that I have the option, it's going to be much easier to partition.
The range of things they fight is very interesting to say ways to fight.
Maybe mixing or amusing, mesmering.
It's very big word. I really don't know. I cannot like
Perhaps hyphenated words like awe-inspiring.
it's definitely awe-inspiring because like season 1 they're just talking about like little ghosts and little things like this. And then
Proper yokai, yes.
and then towards the end they're fighting. I mean, not even towards the end. Halfway through the seasons, they're fighting gods.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they're definitely fighting something big.
The behemoth or never mind. I'm not there. I don't want to ruin it for you. I save it for myself for these reasons. Yes.
This is so exciting to be able to say that because normally it's like you're like, oh, you haven't seen it. I'm like, oh, but you gotta know this.
I don't want to ruin it for you. It's true because I don't. I'm not making fun of you. I just want to help you.
But yeah.
Thank you. Too kind.
No worries. I'm just gonna cherish this a little bit.
Feel
Okay.
safe.
That's
Thank
good
you.
stuff. I enjoyed it.
That's for you. Have you been fooling with this TV show? Do you remember the one? maybe Revan's Banquet. I forget what the affectation is now. Mythic Quest on Apple TV. It is fantastic. Do you want to see what it's like to make a video game? Not sitting down at computers programming, mind you.
I was gonna say, I've seen what they do, and that does not really excite me, and I would probably go crazy.
Oh, believe me, you'll appreciate this show just for the random diversity of its glorious, illustrious, and to be told, storied ensemble cast. It's masterful. A lot of Apple TV I've been giving a shot because of this show.
Okay.
I see those mods you put in there. I smell it. That's good, isn't it?
That's just the one part.
When you say that, they neglect to point out that you've changed so many things in and out to get in there again. You may have misaligned something because one of the performance parts you just had to have, just in case we had to run something over or run away from a nemesis. One time, I dropped a canister loose. One time.
Raccoon City. It took one time, just one little canister, and then for some reason it was just because it was rats. They were a little thirsty, and we're just watching them in the cameras, and we're like, oh, that's not good.
But you know, and then this is the 228 though. That stuff is more easily swept under the rug with some of the backdoor bribes for the second mom. The Dixie Mafia.
Yeah, but there's Keystone here, there's Chevron here. There's a lot more eyes over here.
So many ports and hubs nearby.
Oh yeah, and then the other Gold Port's port.
Yes, port. You know, I don't drink port. I don't care for how sweet it is, and I can't mix it with anything. I just like the bottle it comes in.
No, I definitely like unique bottles.
Never prepare.
You know what's funny? It's kind of ironic. You got one bottle, it's a vodka. I want to say it's called virus or antivirus, and it's a giant beaker.
Oh, yeah, it's retail lids or something.
No, I think it's a
I love it.
I like it as long as they stay wet and they don't fire.
Have you ever seen one of those how it's made type documentaries, ports?
I actually, you know what? I love watching those, but sometimes when I watch an episode, I'm like, I never thought about asking how this is made.
Until you saw it, right?
Yeah.
That was one of them for me. And I gotta tell you, you mentioned it right on the spot. So the cork won't rot.
Yeah.
The cork soakers, the professional cork soakers. I love the portion where it comes to the cork soakers. It was so good and interesting and in depth. And from the POV angles they were shooting at, it was much less the machinizations of a set-up tripod. It was more like AI was influencing a swivel arm, and boom, and you are in it. The cork soaking portion of how it's made works. I tell you, that's all I can tell you. You have to see it for yourself. I don't want to spoil it for you either. That time was a joke. I'm sorry, but still. I meant every word about the cork soakers.
Is it really just like a whole bunch and then they just soak it?
Don't want to ruin part of the cinematography. It's glorious. I know, right?
That is a really good, like...
I'm at a deficit. There's one. Loser. No.
No, what I was going to say is I cannot think of, like, a educational time waster that is actually interesting. Like, I mean, there are some
It's
time
hard.
wasters, but how it's made. Like you just turn it on and you're just like, I ain't got nothing to do for the next couple minutes. Let me just watch a couple of these, and then like
2
an hour,
hours later,
and then
yeah.
you're like, what time is it? You're like, it's 7 o'clock. It was 3 o'clock a minute ago.
Where are this time?
2 of them.
Baker. I saw one Baker. You can have the other one, even though you didn't call it.
But yeah, they're great time wasters, and you're like afterwards, you just got this random piece of knowledge in the back of your pocket. Next time you're in a trivia night, you're like,
It's funny you say trivia night because I was going to say a bar at trivia night.
I
Because
mean,
that's the only place trivia nights matter. Because it's competitive sport.
oh yeah, I mean, I can remember when I was younger. Mom and me would sit in front of the computer and we would put on random trivia and then
Practicing.
yeah, I guess actually. But yeah, no, we were just like playing. We're like, okay, we got it right. We got it right. No, we got it right.
Team got it right. I used to play that Trivial Pursuit with family. And then everyone always has all of one kind of pie slices. And then one person at the table has a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The ones that always killed me, smarts.
Same. I didn't get the back up to you now.
Because I would be like, this one, and they're like, no. I'm like,
Geek.
how about that one? And they're like, you're close. And then they're like describing sports. I'm like, I can kind of do that. They're like, this person did the most touchdowns this year while having a broken leg. And
Specific years, too.
yeah. And versus this other guy who lost his taste buds.
I knew you were going to say that. It's perfect.
So I was like,
I've read that card.
and I'd be like, I don't know. And then I just, going from high school, we always, when it was an RTC, if we know the answer, we always call the problem. Whatever the longest answer is, even if it's words, it's true or false. Alright. True has 4 letters, false has 5 letters. The answer's B, false. Bravo theory.
That's a good one. That's a new one I've never heard.
That's a true story. We did that. If nobody knew what the answer was,
Magic smoke.
and then we'd be like, Bravo theory. And then they'd be like, oh, I know the answer. And then they get it right. Or they'd be like, oh, I was close.
Now there's a fourth answer to the ever-expanding multiple choice.
Or the education. I mean, sometimes you don't have an educational guess. You don't have the educational guess? Bravo theory.
It's better than choosing C half the time. So statistically at this point.
I mean, sometimes the answer is C.
Simple. To a point. It sounds more like Freemason. You know what I mean? Something about it.
I don't know that much about Freemasons. That's why it's in my household.
Well, you know, just the words Freemason kind of makes me feel like there's alphas and bravos and certain paracticuses, crucibles, if you will. It just gives me that Epicurean, potentially satanic, but almost harmless, if not perfectly powerful. Let's say the universal, not an omnipotent God. Has an innate power. Does that make sense? He's innate.
Yeah.
There's an air about it.
You know, we have another guy that is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
He's the most happiest guy on earth.
He's extremely happy. He's sleeping in his car. I wish him the best. But he doesn't do it. I don't think disciple he taught is grateful for his interest. We all choose our servitude, we say this iteration, the plane of existence that we all consider the physical spectrum as solidity is as we know it, etc. They say this is the vibration which is the most susceptible to the quote-unquote discordant vibe or the ringing harmonious, let's say, melodic interference. It is based solely on consent, this third, fourth, and fifth dimension. Just thought that was interesting. Specifically, take your shadow. It's a two-dimensional representation of you. You're a third-dimensional representation of a fourth-dimensional creature that's being cast a shadow yet by something. And that's a good way of the dimension thereafter. When you hear your voice in your head, say your name in your head. You heard that? Yeah, but you said it. But you heard it.
Yeah.
Clear as a bell.
But I also have a bad habit of getting asked a question, answering in my head, and then finishing the sentence aloud.
You didn't do it aloud. You did it perfectly. You did it aloud in your brain.
My brain?
Your brain. Your I am. Not in your ID, not your EGO, and your I am. That's why your will, real name is so powerful. I am will, Williams. You get it. It's better than Michael, which is like the right hand of I am. But you know, it's a very common American name. Occasionally common French Michel. I confirmed it, it was just too late to show you. It was an honorable hand. I said gentleman's bushwalk. We didn't pool table half-handed.
But bushwhacker does sound pretty good.
Does it?
I didn't have
I concur, sir. They're swell.
Last time I had one, what was that? Orange Beach.
Take me back.
I know, right?
Imagery is coming.
It wasn't that good of a weekend, but I remember bushwhacker being pavement. So
Sad. Pastel color just everywhere.
now you got me thinking of Venice.
And Long Beach. And Memphis. But Venice, they really have the pastels kicking.
Oh yeah.
Always on more funky colors, because I assume they do more. Yeah.
It's definitely bright colors. It's one of the small islands off of Venice, and it's a little neighborhood with the water going down as their roadway, and there's the sidewalks, and the houses are very brightly colored, and it's a very pretty spot, but it's a very, you can't focus on one thing because there's just the colors and the way everything is. It's just your eyes are just like traveling; they don't stay fixed. But I think one thing you enjoy in Venice is this one bookstore. And what's interesting about this bookstore, the stairway to get to it is books.
Oh, I love that. I just, Pinterest.
And you It's books on the way down. It's stacks of books. It's really old books. They're I mean they're ruined, but they're like
It's
petrified.
like the stats old house, yeah.
But yeah, it's all petrified, and there's a really nice stairway coming down, and then it goes into the bookstore. The bookstore was nice, but the little book area of the bookstore to get to the bookstore, that was very,
Chef's kiss.
very.
Talk about aesthetic. That's the one. Well, you know, speaking of what you were saying before that, like not being able to focus because of the colors and so much going on, and you're moving along, etc.
Yeah.
That's part of the effects of perception filter. That's why so many cities have coastal towns that have similar either architecture or color schemes.
Okay.
More of the East Coast vibes in America, at least. It's more of the baby blues and the greens, and almost all the way around everywhere else. It's the pretty pinks, the yellows, the pastels, etc.
Actually, you know what? I didn't get offended. I was just kind of dumbfounded.
How so?
So going back to Venice.
Yeah.
I'm in
We're
Venice.
still in Venice.
Okay, we're in Venice. We're talking about Venice, and I'm standing outside of it's not a gas station. It's not really have a gas station. It's just a convenience store.
It's like a bodega.
It's like a really small, like the length of my car, and it's a single walk path.
Oh yeah, that's
And
awesome.
it's super cold inside there, and it's August when I went, and so it's hot, and me and brother just standing outside drinking some Gatorade because we're hot. No air conditioning is not. It's yeah. Well, it's not outside, but it's also not a big thing. Like you're there, you deal with the environment. But if you go inside, there's a little bit of air conditioning, not a great deal of it, and everything you drink is like just below room temperature. It's not that ice cold thing. And also the ice is just non-existent, but it's just a little bit cooler. So, but where we're standing right outside, it's in the shade. We're drinking a drink, and the cold air is just blasting us, and it feels great. So we're doing that. We're standing there, taking a break because we're there till 5. I'm not a big fan of outlet malls, and that's what Venice reminds me of, is an outlet mall.
The touristy traps.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty, and the alleyways are very interesting. Sometimes you're literally walking sideways down aisles because it's so tight, and there's a bridge every other block to get through the water. It's literally a bunch of little islands.
Canals,
And we're standing there drink, and then this Italian guy comes walking up, and he's pointing at me. He goes, "That's unhealthy." And I'm like, "The drink?" He goes, "No, you unhealthy." And I was like, he goes, "That's not good for you." And I was like, I mean, I know I'm fat, but you really didn't have to. That's not healthy.
At least he didn't do that to Christopher. That might have been an event.
Well, what's funny is he's standing next to me. Yes, he is bigger than me, but the guy is pointing at me.
I assumed he was talking about your Gatorade.
No, I was like, the drink. I was like, well, I'm thirsty. And he goes, no. And he pointed at my gut. I'm like,
gotcha.
He goes, that's not healthy. And I'm like, yeah, I know it's not healthy. I need to do better, but golly, you didn't have to call it out like that, there, guy.
Oh man, I feel for you there. So, like you kind of got called out for being an American.
And actually, you know what? When I was over there, I was able to, after I kind of understood and talked to some people.
Yeah.
I was able then to like, oh, that's an American. That's an American. So if people were walking, like they had
somewhere to be.
Not really somewhere to be. It was like the confidence, like undying confidence. Like I know for certain I gotta walk down this road and I gotta turn left. Yeah. Instead of just walking down the road, if they're like making a beeline straight down the road, I was like, that's an American. And then you hear them talk and you're like, yep, that's American. Or if they were leaning, like they went somewhere and then they're like leaning up against the light post, or they're leaning against the wall, or they're resting against something. They're leaning against it, not just standing.
Oh, that's a tip. That's a pro tip.
And you're like, I was like, I don't lean that much. And then I thought about it just like in my day to day. I walk up somewhere, I lean up on the door.
I'm gonna say nothing.
I walk up, I lean up on a chair. I walk over here, I lean over here. I'm sitting and I'm leaning on my door right now.
Hey man, if you're carrying around guns these heavy, you gotta lean sometimes, son. Okay, I go to the gym, and you will lean. You know what I mean.
Well, I go by the gym every day. I drive by it because it's on my way home.
Well, we're big hairy American men. That's all I can say.
But yeah, no, they told me that. There was some other little things.
Oh, the differences.
Yeah.
Cultural exchange, really.
Yeah. Oh, did you know something very minor? And you don't even think about it. If you get a pizza, if you order a pizza, it is a full one size pizza.
I mean, okay. Pizza.
When they give it to you and you cut it, they can tell you if you're American by how you cut the pizza.
Wow. Well,
How would you cut a pizza if you're
if I was getting it,
if it was just your pizza? How would you cut it up?
what utensils would I have in hand?
Fork and a knife.
Fork and a knife?
Yep.
I don't know. I'd probably fold up a corner of it into a triangle and then knife it off.
That makes sense.
Or if no one was around, I'd fold up the whole pizza and eat it from the ass out.
Yeah, I mean, that should be pretty nice. I was just asking about.
I mean, pizza ass.
So,
Greasy cheese.
well, it's really not that greasy. It's really not greasy.
Well, American cheese caves have
Yes.
overabundance of greasy cheeses.
But
Yeah, I like that.
I like it too. But when you have like a
Healthier cheese.
real pizza, you're like, this is amazing.
You know, I made pizza in high school. I got work to do. You know what? It was Papa John's. It's a different animal.
So, if you get it and then slice it, rotate it and slice it into 4 pieces, that's what how Italians eat it. They'll cut it in 4 slices and then eat 4 slices of pizza.
Fold it up.
Yeah, but if you like cut just a little bit or cut into like a bunch of little pieces or just knife and fork it and just eat it all the way through, American. 4 slices and just grab a corner and go to town, you're from that area.
You're like rustic tomatoes when they ripen,
Yeah.
sun dried.
Then there's there was another thing.
Oh, I thought you were about to tell me that specifying, are you eating it here or are you taking it home?
Oh, yeah, there's that too. Fiance learned that when she was not happy about that. So I did tell you that. I did tell you, like, if they ask you to eat it, you better remember. You better make sure you've got something heated up with that home. They had put her in that to-go box uncooked, and she was like furious. I said, well, they know where you live.
Hey, how we do in America?
We're not American.
That's
But
fine.
she was upset, but I completely understood. But she also understood, and I understood that it's a different country. They do things different.
Culture shock.
Yeah.
Culture clash.
That was such a good steak. So when she did that, me and her oldest got a steak, a kilogram steak, and even today, that was like the best steak I've ever made.
Wow.
That was the most tender steak I've ever had.
Basically, it took them 5 minutes to make it too. Really?
I'll say about that.
They must have done their work games about
I watched it. They did not put much on it. They just sprinkled a little bit of
salt, pepper,
yeah.
I'm assuming butter. No time. Or sorry, rosemary. I knew it.
And I think when they were doing it, they were basting it.
Yeah, they were.
So
Gordon Ramsay and that shit. That's the best way to do it. So,
if I'm able to, I'll try to do it. But
you gotta cast some skill out there. You know what to do.
sometimes when you're trying to do it, it's so flat you can't get a scope. And you're just gouging the metal in your ear. Like you're farming you.
You gotta cook outdoors when you bring MREs.
It's a hard thing.
Okay, it's contextual. I get that.
But I mean, like if I'm at home, yeah, I've got my black stuff.
Yeah.
But
Get you a squeeze bottle for condiments and melt you some butter in there. It'll be easier for you to handle all the black stuff. Worst case scenario, put it in the microwave with some warm water in it, glass basin, if not, it's free. Easy peasy.
you're spot on. That is a really good idea. Just getting a melting machine. Mustard bottles.
Yeah, mustard bottle, nice and clear, squirt bottle, I get you. Yeah. I mean, you're supposed to get some stuff like that when you get a Blackstone game. Did you get anything? Well, they give you the attachments for jumping most of the
Yeah, you gotta get the attachments. I got the attachments.
You didn't buy it from the licensed Blackstone dealer, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
It just that's the one that I got. It didn't come with the parts. It just came with it didn't come with any accessories. It came with a lid.
right.
And then now that I'm looking at it, I'm like really bummed out because the newer models, they have the nice like grill lid, and then I've got the you grab it and it's just a giant pan. And of course you're like, oh, of course Blackstone would sell aftermarket lids.
You can buy hinges and drill and something there.
I wasn't even planning on doing that. Like they don't do that, and then you can buy off-brand ones. But I'm like, I've got a Blackstone. I would like to,
I wanted to do a
match.
thing.
I
Yeah.
want to do the matching thing. And it's like no. I'm like, well, fine, fuck you. So
Those rudiments.
right. So
Oh, I hate to interrupt, but I logged recently a new Mandela effect.
I really want to do. What you like?
You know those Panda Expresses?
Like that one?
Yeah, you know those Panda Palaces?
Wait. In Palace.
Yeah, just like that. You know Panda Palace Express? Yeah, that's what it is now.
What?
There's been another multiversal shift. There's growing pains of an outspreading universe. Or dimension, however you want to look at it.
No.
Yeah, that's a new one. There's also two more which Red Act.
What?
Red Act.
Red active?
Red Act.
What is that?
It's been Red Acted from signed an NDA. But each NDA comes with a 10 grand bonus. I just love the company, it's a killer market. It is. But we can do this for certain channels now. Alright, so my dogs are tired. Do you mind if I sit here for a moment? Okay, that's not the right password. A pretty Tuesday chicken dinner, baby. I'll have what she's having. It's pretty close. So recently, I got this new setup with me that we have been using sonic charges to see if the vibrational wavelengths of the sound or the frequency thereof gives off enough of the less than discordant so more lively sound. And we have been able to, in less than 3 years, this just wrapped up. We basically started implementing it last year. There's this little bit of thing that attaches to the chemical base in fluoride that gets then dumped from all these other companies. How we get it to the companies is they say clean the fluoride out of your silos so they don't eat away at the tin, right? We sell it like hotcakes. So for the past 2 years, we've been cleaning their fluoride silos where they have to let the stuff settle for 3 months before they can put it into public drinking water because it's still, it's toxic. After effects of another chemical process, right? You can't just put it in the water immediately. Anyway, we found a way to add something to that. A lot of people are getting little bits of nanomachinery, which take advantage of all the microplastics and some of the excess iron in one's blood. So if you find yourself eating more red meat than usual, that's why the micromachines are building within you. So far, no one has confirmed or denied any of the Asimov's laws or any weird stuff being overwritten in human DNA or anything, but they are experimenting with the chromosomal caps, which is basically the end of one's lifespan, and that's why we die less than 100 years old these days. But I digress. I feel silly. Not enough people have been ingesting their local tap water for it to take effect. However, they are gaining more microplastics from turning into bottles and cartons because of the plastic and wax.
I was just about to say, I'm going to give up water.
Yeah, I mean, beer's good, it's nutrients, but it also gets you a little tipsy, so. Yeah. Oh, beer is a struggle meal. That's why they gave it to the damn, well, some of our people, the Jews. If beer was what would build themselves, it wasn't hard to do, they would have it. Beer money. I like rum. Roma? Rome? That's what they call it. Yeah, we call it rum. Well, I like their tomatoes.
I like their train station.
Was it a joy?
Well, I mean, that's where we went. I had that stay.
Oh, train station was one of the restaurants?
Well,
Or it was
at
on the train?
on one end of the train station was this restaurant that had a little of everything.
It was a bistro. No?
Because it like had hamburgers, it had smash burgers, it had Mexican food, it had Chinese food, it had steaks, it had desserts, it had stir fry over here, it had something else over there. Like if you thought it had it.
Sounds like a food court in a mini mall strip.
Basically, but it was all one company.
Wow, that's awesome.
Like I said, it was really good. That's one thing I wish we had over here.
It's kind of like Panda Palace Express, except for more condensed and better options.
A lot better food.
Yeah. Less warm sushi.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me, there was another place, and I know you're not a big fan of Nashville.
That place is walkable.
So, it was in Nashville on right around the corner from what's that big road?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Busey's for a second there.
Oh no, it's shoot, what is it? It's a really well-known road see. It's kind of like their party. It's like their bourbon street.
Oh, it's not the crossroads.
I think it's either one road away from Titan Stadium or it's on that road. And but anyway, there is this little area where it's 2 stories and it's kind of like a community area. And then when you go upstairs, they do something similar to that restaurant that I was just talking about, but it's a bunch of individual places, and none of them are chains. They're all mom and pop kind of places.
Hell yes.
And
Maria tacos immediately.
oh, I ended up having that's what I did. I got the burrito tacos, but they, like I said, they had a little bit of everything, and it was all mom and pop shops. And it was great. Yeah, I got the burrito tacos, verde sauce, and every time I had like some of my meat or tortilla break off and land on my plate, I just threw it in the dipping sauce, and at the end I just drank it up, and I was like, oh, this is it.
Delicious. I don't know why when you began to describe it, it reminded me of a buddy of mine on a trip to the Gundam Museum in Japan.
Yeah.
He was saying that the manga shops, the secondhand stores, secondhand book stores, and all these little, clutches that sold specific little trinkets and luggage even.
Yeah.
He went over to one of those, and the contest winning, one of the things was like, here, get these 2 suitcases. And they're like, I have my own suitcases back in my room. He's like, no, these are for you. And they pay for them. And then they went through all the spots in there, the comic book store, the manga store, the little used video store, all this, because they take better care of their production and output of the second hand because of the potential internet value that they didn't catch.
Yeah.
And that's why they charge a slightly higher premium, specifically for manga and collectibles. But no, they told him to fill one up. And then he did. They bought all that for him. And the second one, this is like 4 stairs down because everything was like 5 to 20 flights up.
Yeah.
And the second one, he got to fill up at the museum. And he got to watch the ceremony. And went home with 2 suitcases full of crazy amounts of collectibles later. It was ridiculous, dude. I'm like, when was this? The 80s? It was ridiculous. I was so jealous.
Oh, I'm sure. I would definitely.
Much younger man back then, but
Talk about Gundam, like Gundam Breaker 4.
Is that the mobile deal?
No, that was Gunpla. I can't remember what it was, but I guess it lost traction.
Well, he just didn't have support anymore.
I think it lost the support. Like it was at first it was really good, but then like every week, or if you didn't even download it once a week, like it was a very large, very
Tedious.
capacity hog. Like it was just eating up your storage, but it was a fun. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. I had trouble with some of the controls, but if you had trouble with controls, you literally would hit auto, and your gunpla would fight for itself.
Oh, wow. I didn't get that far. I just got to the point where it was eating up all my shit and I gave up on it because I was only playing it once a week.
Yeah, so it definitely was a resource hog, but I really enjoyed it. But the Gundam Breaker 4 is very, very, very similar.
Is it Steam or Switch or something?
I think it's on Steam. I've got it on Switch, and I was playing last night. And I was having a ball with it. The only thing that I'm trying to figure out how to do though is combining resources. So when you combine resources, on the other one you literally just click it and it would say similar types and you can just tap it and it would make it so much easier. But this one, you're having to like click over here, find it over here, filter it. You're like, this is a little bit more. This is a very easy to do.
It sounds like too many steps.
It kind of is. And I am most likely, because like I only did it, I just opened up the feature to level up my stuff and combine parts. I just opened it. So there's a very, very strong possibility that me quickly clicking through the feature tutorial bypassed it and I didn't read it. Because I was all like, click, 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 okay, go to bed. And then the next day I was like, oh yeah, I can find stuff now. Why is this taking so long? Well, no, for the update. Like if I click on this part and it says, okay, you have all of your parts to choose from. It's not a just similar parts. If it was similar, it'd be like click, 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 okay, done.
So it's just your entire loadout.
Yeah.
Oh wow, no wonder.
And I mean, like that's per part, like your head, your torso, your left arm, your right arm, your legs, your backpack, your long range weapon, your other long range weapon, your close range weapon, your other close range weapon.
See, that's why I missed all the Mech Breaker series. Like when you pull up a model, it would let you know what parts you had to build it. It would parse out what you had of that in stock.
Well, it'll show you, but like duplicates, it's just not filtering duplicates. Like literally, it's more.
Didn't consolidate or filter.
So the filtering is not that great, but maybe if I go to sort, I can find a duplicates button. But the filtering button, I figured if you filter it and then you had a duplicates box, I could check mark it, and then I just check mark it, and it would solve all my issues.
Wood is the key words out there.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing a duplicates box for me to check. It'd be really nice if it had a check.
Does it even have its own settings? Or... Well, hopefully they'll get the notes. This stuff is ridiculous. Are you at least logging anything when they ask you for crash reports? Or is it that speed of the game?
Oh, it's awesome.
Okay.
My biggest flaw right now is remembering to hit shield to drop straight to the ground. Because when you're doing certain attacks, you'll start flying, and then you'll just be kind of flying towards the sky.
Okay.
And I'm stuck up here flying, and I'm like, I need to go down there, and then I'm like, oh yeah, block. Drops like a brick.
Oh wow, air brakes and all, huh?
Oh no, it just drops. It just goes straight down. So
that sounds broken.
Well, no.
In a good way, though.
Well, in the tutorial, it even says press this button to go straight down. I'm playing, and then I'm like, I can target people, and I'm like, okay, hit my afterburners or my jets or my thrusters, fly that way. Okay, and then he's like tapering down, and he goes and hits them because I do a melee, and he comes down and he's attacking perfectly. Very like off a movie or a show or something.
Just like a combo break.
Yeah, like it's doing it great, and then I finish him off, and I'm flying in the air, and I'm like, well, I need to get down because the person's right underneath me. Oh yeah, block, and then drop, and then it starts working. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'm like, fight.
Yeah. Mash some buttons in rapid succession.
Yeah. That is one thing I like, because if you tap one, you're using one arm. If you tap the other melee button, you use your other arm. And then you can go back and forth, and then you can do
swing.
Yeah, you can make a combo. Because like right now I've got a sword, single-handed sword, and then I have a dual blade. And the dual blade is very good at slicing body parts off.
Beam saber.
I do it. It's a dual-sided. So think like
Not Darth Maul.
no, think Darth Maul.
Oh, okay.
So I've got basically Darth Maul's on my my one arm, and then I've got a physical sword, not a beam saber, in my other arm. Because
they made you a guts gun.
no, I'm not that big of a sword. I just have a regular sword. Just like not a.
With a suggested kind of metal. I'm presuming it's something between titanium and titanium.
It's kind of a good thing.
What else can you talk about titanium?
And then I made a oops.
Uh-oh.
I was playing, I was doing good, and I accidentally got excited trying to pull. I'm used to my further back buttons to be my gun buttons, and then my front ones are like target or pull up a menu. Well, in this game, they're switched. These are my gun, and this is my trigger, or this is my yeah.
So those being blocks and special moves.
Yeah. So I pressed the button and I hit the. I was trying to use. So I've got my PO skill and then my XP skill. XP skills are skills that you have to build up, fight, and then you'll get a 1 point, and a 2 point, up to 3 or 6 points, and then you get to have just a big attack. And then the other ones are like little passive weapons that don't do a whole lot of damage, but they do some damage. And I didn't realize one of my passive buttons was self-destruct.
Oh no.
So I'm doing great. I'm kicking butt. I'm trying to shoot this guy that's running that way, and I'm like, atomic bomb, because I've got an atomic launcher, one of the Gundams, and I pressed the button that I thought was it, and all of a sudden my Gundam just explodes. And I'm like, what the? Why? Who shot me? And then I look at it and I just see, oh, I had. So when I got back to the settings button, I fixed that with a quickness. So that's not a skill that I have in my arsenal now. It is now what's it? Rising Gundam, low launcher.
Burning, shining, shocking, such.
Yeah, burning shot. It was the Gundam was only used one time in that shot.
I think you're right.
By rain, and it wasn't like super like, oh, this is like an ultimate attack. No, she just pulled it out and shot something because it was attacking her. She was scared.
Right. Good old Rain. She was the most undervalued character in that whole thing.
The end of that anime was actually, I was very shocked. I very much enjoyed it. I thought it ended amazing.
I thought it was a thoroughly enjoyable thing as well. It's just, I don't want to ruin anything for whoever reviews these tapes before we get submitted for questioning, but it's worth it. Take a chance on a dream. Modern day fate. Christmas.
Yeah, you got that
was good for what it was, and it was special.
I do get like shocked that Wing Gundam was not as heavily liked over in Japan. In America, it was a lot of people's first anime, but
I get where you're going, yeah.
that's what they cut their teeth on the first time.
It's trash.
I mean,
They won't eat tilapia overseas, but you'll eat the hell out of it over here. There's trash fish everywhere but here. It looks like a piranha.
Like that's the same thing with crab and shrimp and
certain
crawfish.
Species, yeah.
Those are, they're technically bottom feeders. They're garbage eaters.
Yeah. Bad.
Hey, but I'll tear up some of those. I got a bag of them.
Oh, see, I went and bought the tails. I'm going to do some experimental crap.
Hey, I mean, I'm not knocking them.
All
I'm screaming is like,
I had a feeling and I had to do it. That's all it was to it.
I'm dreaming of some crawfish.
Oh, I know you are. I don't know how late it's been this season for you, but I know you've been feeding.
I'm hoping it's some stuff.
I want to see it. Are we getting lot of recording of this area, so I've been collecting samples. It's kind of funny. Because you see how there's basically nothing out there?
Just a random chair.
Yeah, random chair left over from some event. We got truckers with special dispensation, people who traveled here and live in these vehicles and basically just go casino routes. And then you have one rent-a-cop in a golf cart. And they never see what's happening out here. Like, I know we're going through here, nothing's happening. It seems so uneventful. But it's whenever there's like a shift change in security, it's always some sort of little weird thing with the company's security camera system, the closed circuit.
Yeah.
And not just on their intranet, but what they share with their privatized cybersecurity over the internet. It's always a power thing.
It's always powerful.
But you never see what happens out here.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's it.